This instructional video will help you in submitting an application for a U.S. passport. We will discuss how to fill out the passport application and what to bring with you at the time of your passport appointment. To begin, you can find all passport forms online at travel.state.gov. If the application is for a first-time passport applicant or a minor child under the age of 16, use Form DS-11. If the application is for an adult over the age of 16 renewing a 10-year full validity passport, use Form DS-82. You can fill out the correct form electronically and then print it, or you can print it and fill it out by hand. Now that you have the application you need, let's fill it out. We'll start with the DS-11, but remember, if you are a parent or guardian filling out the passport application for a minor child, do not answer the questions yourself. Answer on behalf of the child. First, write the applicant's last name, first name, and middle name if one is used. Write the name clearly and exactly as it appeared on any previous citizenship documents, such as a previous passport or a certificate of naturalization. Second, write the applicant's date of birth. Remember to put the month, followed by the day, and then the year. Choose either male or female. Under place of birth, don't forget to write the city in which the applicant was born. If he or she was born in the U.S., write the city followed by the state. If born outside of the U.S., write the city and then the country's name. For example, Cairo, Egypt. If the applicant has a social security number, write it here. Then, write an email address followed by the applicant's local phone number and local mailing address in the appropriate spaces. For the mailing address, write the full address. If the applicant has used any other names before, write them here. For example, if you changed your name when you were married, write your maiden name. If you are an Egyptian citizen with a different name on your national ID, write that name too. That is all you need to fill out on this page. Our office will complete the rest of the page, and most importantly, don't sign before you are in front of a consular officer. On the second page, write the applicant's name again in the same order as on the first page, last, first, and middle, followed by your date of birth. Now on to number 10. Here, write the full name, date, and place of birth of both of the applicant's parents. You'll also need to check their gender and whether or not they're an American citizen. Next, you have to answer whether or not the applicant has been married before. Check yes or no. If yes, write the information of the current or previous spouse. For questions 12 through 18, answer as best as you can. If the applicant has a phone number different from what is listed on page 1, write that. If the applicant has clear travel plans, write those. You're next asked to write the address where the applicant lives permanently. It can be the same as the mailing address on page 1. In question 20, it is very important that you list an emergency contact. In the event of an emergency, the Department of State can use this information to help. Please write the person's name and contact information. Finally, has the applicant ever applied for or been issued a U.S. passport book or passport card? Check yes or no. If yes, answer the questions about it. You've now finished filling out the passport application. Do not proceed with filling out the bottom of the page. We'll talk about what to bring with you to your passport appointment at the end of the video. Now, let's discuss completing the DS-82 passport application. You'll notice that the questions asked on page 1 of the DS-82 are the same. You'll fill out the application exactly as you would the DS-11, starting with your full name and date of birth, onto your full mailing address and any other names you have used. For questions 10, Please write down the information printed on your previous passport. You'll write your name exactly as it is written on the passport, followed by the book number and issue date. If you are applying to have your name changed on your passport, for example, because of marriage, write the location where you changed your name and the date. Do not continue writing on page 1. It's now time to turn to the second page. Here you'll rewrite your name and date of birth. Questions 12, 13, and 14 ask about your physical description, height, hair color, and eye color. Answer to the best of your ability. Next, write your job at question 11, question 15, and your employer or school, if you are a student. For 17, please enter any additional telephone numbers with which you could be contacted in case of an emergency. Question 18 asks for your permanent address. Write your address if it is different than your mailing address. If your permanent and mailing addresses are the same, leave it blank. Next, you're asked to identify an emergency contact. This should be someone that the Department of State could reach if you need emergency assistance while overseas. Finally, write your next upcoming trip, if any are planned. Now you should sign and date your application. You don't need to wait to sign in front of a consular officer. You may sign it before you submit it. You've now finished filling out the DS-82 application for a passport renewal. Now let's discuss what to have with you at the time of your passport appointment. For any passport application, you must bring a passport photograph. The photo must meet these requirements. Have been taken within the past 6 months. The background must be white. Head must face the camera directly. Hair or any head coverings must be pulled back to show the full face, and eyeglasses are not allowed. Next, all passport applicants must prove their identity and citizenship. For proof of identity, bring your most recent passport. If you have not had a passport before, you may bring another ID that includes a signature and photograph. This could be a previous U.S. passport, a driver's license, certificate of naturalization, or a military or government employee ID card. You must submit at least one form of ID with the document and one copy. To establish U.S. citizenship, previous passports and naturalization certificates can also be used. Additionally, a U.S. birth certificate or consular report of birth abroad proves citizenship. Applications for a minor child under the age of 16 require that both parents appear at the time of application. If one parent cannot attend, he or she can submit a notarized consent form, the DS-3053, which authorizes the new passport. You can find this form at travel.state.gov and bring it to a notary office to fill out. The notary must stamp it and include a copy of the parent's ID. The form must be signed within 90 days of the passport application. The applying parent will then bring this consent form to the appointment. Applicants between the ages of 16 and 18 require only one parent to attend the appointment with them. Finally, here are a few key tips to remember when submitting your application. First, bring the original and a copy of each required document. We will return the original documents to you. Passport photos must meet the requirements, or you will be asked to take a new photo. You can keep your valid passport with you while waiting for your new one to arrive. Once it arrives, you'll send your old passport to us, which we will cancel and return to you with your new passport. Congratulations! You're now ready to submit your application and required documents.